Hey guys, welcome back to Hike Oregon. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to enjoy hiking while being conscious of your carbon footprint. If you are new here, welcome. I make hiking and backpacking vlogs, as well as gear reviews and general tips and tricks videos. So if you're interested in content like that, hit that red subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you are notified every time I make a new video. And if you would like more content from me, check me out over on Patreon, where for as little as $1, you can get 2 extra videos a month. So thank you so much to the person who suggested this video. I thought it was a super interesting topic to talk about and something that I have not seen discussed much here in the hiking community. Most of us who are hikers and backpackers, we inherently love nature, we love the outdoors, we love Mother Earth. I'm guessing that most of you are already conscious of your carbon footprint in your day-to-day life. Sometimes some of these things that we do in our day-to-day life are a little bit harder to do or think about when we are going hiking and backpacking. Specifically backpacking, because you are buying backpacking meals and you are putting more things in Ziploc bags just for convenience and stuff like that, which I totally understand and I have done as well. But since thinking about this video idea and thinking about what can we all do to be more conscious of our carbon footprint when we hike and backpack, I've definitely eliminated some of the things that I used to do. So I put together a little list of some things that I thought about how I can be more conscious of my carbon footprint when going out on my adventures. So the first thing is keeping clothes until they fall apart and can no longer be worn. I have 2 Reebok leggings that I have actually had for 6 years now, and they are just now starting to have some holes in them. So it's going to be time soon to retire them and get some new ones. However, just because they have a little hole doesn't mean I'm going to throw them in the landfill. I actually still wear them at home around the house. They're just not going to be my hiking leggings anymore. So I will still get wear out of them until they completely fall apart. And that's how I am with most of my clothes. So because the Reebok leggings are quality leggings, they did last 6 years. They lasted a long time. Now I only had 2 and I hike a lot. So you can just imagine how much wear these leggings got and how many times they got washed and whatnot. If you buy quality clothing, it will last a long time. You know, a smart wool shirt should last you probably 10 years or more. My husband has a poly blend shirt that he has had the entire time I have known him, which is 13 years, and who knows how long he had it before that. So if you buy things like that, they will last you a long time and you won't have to throw them away. Now, if you buy stuff from like Target or Walmart, you know, they're like sports line or whatever, those things will fall apart in a year or 2 and you'll likely have to just throw it out, which is unfortunate. So I highly recommend investing in quality clothes. And then if you do for some reason get rid of clothing, you know, let's say you lost some weight from hiking and a pair of pants you bought 2 years ago doesn't fit you anymore, bring them to Goodwill or sell them online. You know, the life of the pants is not over. Someone else will love that pair of pants or that jacket and they will hold on to it for who knows how long. So don't just discard it or throw it away. Give it to Goodwill or sell it online. I know I sell a ton of my clothes online if I don't want them anymore. For example, I'd quit my job, so I don't need office clothes anymore. So I just put all of those for sale online. It's great clothing still, it just, I don't need it. So that's a way to get rid of your clothes, but still have it be reused. And that way it doesn't end up in the landfill. Another thing that I do is I only buy gear that is absolutely necessary. I am not one of those people that buys a bunch of gear just to try it out and then I get rid of it. I definitely use all of my gear till it is old old, worn out, broken, or just no longer safe to use. There are points where gear is not quite worn out and not ready to be put away, but it's just not safe to use anymore. Obviously, don't compromise your safety. For example, my tent, the rainfly, is no longer waterproof. So the tent works. It is still a fabulous tent. There's nothing wrong with it. It works great, but it would compromise my safety if I used it and got rained on in the mountains. My down sleeping bag would get wet. I would get wet. All of my gear would get wet, and obviously that would not be safe. And obviously, if I am given gear by a company and it's like a double of what I already have, like a sleeping bag or an extra tent or a backpack or something, I will give it to someone who needs it and who doesn't have something like that. For example, my brother is putting together his backpacking gear setup and he needed a sleeping bag, so he is now using one of the extra sleeping bags that I got from a brand. Eating foods with minimal packaging is one of the best ways to minimize your carbon footprint. Buy in bulk. If you are getting trail mix in a bag, see if they have it in bulk instead, or make your own trail mix. Get nuts in bulk, get M&Ms in bulk, get, banana chips in bulk, granola, whatever you want to put in your trail mix. Buy it in bulk and make a huge batch, and then put it in Tupperware or put it in one of those reusable Ziploc bags that you can get on Amazon. There are also tons of companies that are starting to make compostable packaging, which is so awesome. For example, CS Coffee, my favorite backpacking coffee, their packaging is compostable. It's absolutely amazing. So you can throw it on your compost pile and it's not one of those packaging items that will sit in the landfill for years and years. And then to go along with that, pack your own snacks in reusable containers, Tupperware, like I mentioned, the reusable Ziploc bags. There's also that awesome wax wrap that you can put around your sandwich instead of using tinfoil or plastic wrap or a sandwich bag. Avoid things like one-time use Ziploc bags. I do use Ziploc bags here and there, and when I do, I try to use the more sturdy ones so that I can reuse them multiple times until, let's say, it rips or gets a hole or something like that. I know Ziploc bags are super convenient, especially when it comes to backpacking, rehydrating your backpacking meals and stuff like that. So I know sometimes you can't avoid using it. If you do use Ziploc bags, make sure to wash them out and reuse them a few times. Speaking of reusing, water bottles are a huge landfill filler for sure. Plastic water bottles, smart water bottles. Smart water bottles are what I use to easily filter water. However, I buy 2 per year and that's it. I use them for the entire backpacking season, a big 1.5 liter and then a 1 liter. And like I said, I use them for all my backpacking trips. And then at the end, actually here in Oregon, you can go and put them in the bottle drop and they will recycle the water bottles and cans and stuff for you. And then for day hikes, I always use a water bladder. So I have had mine for 8-9 years. I got it when I was mountain biking actually. So yeah, I've had it for about 9 years and it's worked great. I have not had to buy a new one. It's still perfectly fine. It is made out of plastic and rubber, so I would hate to have to throw it away. But like I said, it has lasted about 9 years and it still works great. And then when it comes to driving, I know many of us drive hours and hours to get to trailheads. Something that I have started doing is I do less single weekly trips. So when I had my full-time job, I used to go hiking every weekend. And so I would hike once a week and I would drive, who knows how far to do one hike. Now, not only being conscious of my carbon footprint, but also of how much money and gas it takes to get to various hikes. So what I have started doing is lumping trips together. So instead of going every week to one hike, I try to go every other week or every 3 weeks to a certain area, and then I lump hikes together. So I will car camp in one specific area. For example, last week I went to the Columbia River Gorge and I camped there for 3 nights, and I did multiple trips that were not more than about 20 miles from my campground. So I did minimal driving and I was able to do 6 hikes, which is amazing. And to think about me driving to and from Eugene, let's say even 3 or 4 times to do all of these hikes, that would have been 3 hours each way. That's so much gas, so much emissions and stuff that I have saved. So even if you're just planning to go for a weekend, maybe instead of just doing that one hike, think about spending the night nearby and doing another 1 or 2 hikes the next day. And then last but not least is carpooling. I know most of us hike with friends, and it's always the best idea to carpool. There is no sense in 5 people taking 4 or 5 different cars to the trailhead. So always try and fill your car. If you're going on a group hike and you know that multiple people are all going from the same town to the same trailhead, if you're comfortable driving, see who else would like a ride. Most people pitch in gas money, which is really nice. And if you're not comfortable driving, just ask around and I guarantee you someone will have a space for you in their car. So those are some of the things that came to mind when I was thinking about how to enjoy hiking and backpacking while still being conscious of my carbon footprint. I hope you guys took something away from this video, and I would love to hear down in the comments below if you guys have some great ideas about other tips and tricks that we can use in the hiking and backpacking community to lessen our carbon footprint. If you want to see awesome pictures from my recent adventures, go ahead and follow me over on Instagram. And if you are interested in hiking and backpacking here in this amazing state of Oregon, check out my website, hikeoregon.net, and you'll find all of that information there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next adventure.